March 24, 2015. The peace of the French Alps was shattered when Germanwings Flight 9525, carrying 150 people, crashed into the mountainside. What followed was not just a tragic loss of life but a chilling revelation about the man behind the controls, Andreas Lubitz. This is a story of dreams turned into nightmares, a tragedy that changed aviation forever. Every crime has a story. Some are solved, some vanish forever. But what is the truth? Welcome to Crimelapse, where we chase the facts. Now let's shed light on what's been lost in the dark. Today we're exploring the heartbreaking and shocking story of Germanwings Flight 9525, a flight that should have been routine but became one of the most harrowing events in aviation history. This isn't just a story about a plane crash. It's about mental health, systemic failures, and the lasting impact on families and aviation worldwide. Andreas Lubitz was born on December 18, 1987, in Neuburg in der Donau, Germany, and grew up in the small town of Montabaur. From a young age, he dreamed of becoming a pilot. His friends described him as ambitious and determined. By 2008, he was on track to achieve his ambitions, enrolling in Lufthansa's prestigious flight training program in Bremen. But this dream was not without its challenges. During his training, Lubitz's mental health began to deteriorate. He experienced severe depression and anxiety, which led to him pausing his flight training in 2009. Medical records revealed that he was diagnosed with a depressive episode and prescribed medication to manage his condition. Despite his struggles, he resumed training after receiving treatment and was eventually certified as fit to fly. Throughout his career, Lubitz remained under periodic medical supervision. In the years leading up to the crash, he sought treatment from various doctors, some of whom noted signs of recurring mental health issues, including anxiety, vision problems he believed were psychosomatic, and a fear of losing his flying license. Despite being declared unfit to work by some physicians, Lubitz concealed these assessments from Lufthansa and continued flying. By 2013, Lubitz became a first officer with Germanwings, a low-cost subsidiary of Lufthansa. To his colleagues and friends, he seemed determined and competent. However, beneath the surface, his battle with mental health continued to intensify. March 24, 2015, started like any other day. Germanwings Flight 9525 took off from Barcelona, Spain, at 10:01 a.m., bound for Düsseldorf, Germany. On board were 144 passengers and 6 crew members, representing 18 nationalities. At 10:27 a.m., the captain, Patrick Sondenheimer, stepped out of the cockpit for a bathroom break, leaving Lubitz alone at the controls. It was then that Lubitz locked the cockpit door, preventing anyone from re-entering. He programmed the autopilot to descend from 38,000 feet to just 100 feet. The captain tried desperately to regain access, but cockpit security protocols, designed to prevent hijackings, ensured the door could not be opened from the outside. Air traffic controllers noticed the descent and attempted to contact the plane, but there was no response. At 10:41 a.m., the Airbus A320 crashed into the French Alps at a speed of over 700 kilometers per hour, killing everyone on board instantly. In those final moments, the passengers would have realized something was terribly wrong. It's believed that the last 8 minutes of the flight were filled with confusion, terror, and a desperate hope for survival. This chilling sequence of events left an indelible mark on aviation history. In the aftermath, investigators combed through the wreckage to piece together what had happened. The cockpit voice recorder revealed the haunting final moments. The sound of the captain pounding on the door, passengers screaming, and Lubitz breathing steadily until impact. Investigators discovered that Lubitz had meticulously planned the crash. His personal computer contained searches related to cockpit security, suicide methods, and previous airline disasters. These findings highlighted the premeditated nature of the tragedy. As investigators dug into Lubitz's background, the shocking truth emerged. He had a documented history of severe mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and suicidal tendencies. In the months leading up to the crash, Lubitz visited multiple doctors. Some prescribed antidepressants and sleep aids, while others recommended he stop flying altogether. Despite these warnings, Lubitz continued to fly, using loopholes in privacy laws to avoid disclosing his medical condition to his employer.
We have found medical documentation that showed no organic medical illness. He had, at that time, been in treatment of a psychotherapist because of what is documented as being suicidal. There have several visits at medical doctors, and we have found, as we have already communicated, evidence that his doctors documented him to be unable to work and to fly.
Nothing. No word during the 10 last minutes. I think voluntary, he refused to open the door and he turned the button to get down the plane.
This raised critical questions. How did such a flawed system allow a pilot with known mental health issues to continue flying? And what could be done to prevent future tragedies? The crash devastated families and communities around the world. Among the victims were 16 students and 2 teachers from a German school returning from an exchange trip, leaving an entire community in mourning. The tragedy also sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. Airlines worldwide re-evaluated cockpit security protocols. Many implemented the 2-person rule, ensuring that 2 crew members must always be in the cockpit. Stricter mental health assessments were introduced for pilots. Airlines began conducting random psychological evaluations, and support programs for pilots dealing with stress and mental health issues were expanded. Privacy laws regarding medical conditions were also re-examined. While maintaining confidentiality remains crucial, exceptions were introduced to allow critical health issues to be disclosed to employers when public safety is at risk. These measures, while significant, came too late for the victims of Germanwings Flight 9525. Their legacy, however, lives on in the reforms aimed at ensuring such a tragedy never happens again. The story of Andreas Lubitz and Germanwings Flight 9525 is one of profound loss and hard lessons. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about mental health, the stigma surrounding it, and the responsibilities of those in positions of trust. As we remember the 150 lives lost that day, let us also strive to create a world where mental health is treated with the same urgency as physical health, and where tragedies like this can be prevented. The truth always rises to the surface, but sometimes when you least expect it. If this story made you think, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. See you in the next case. Stay safe.